In 5 years, that number grows to 29%, and then doubles in 10, thus making the current location, the American Legion, sorely inadequate. I would like to thank the American Legion and its members for providing us with this space, but they can only accommodate a fraction of our seniors. The Office of Senior Resources is doing the best they can, but they are unable to bring so many vital services and so many needed programs to this center because of its size. We have looked at the numbers, we have reviewed the lease. I ask my fellow legislators to move this forward tonight. Let's make a difference in the quality of life for the seniors on the western side of this county.
Discussion.
Thank you, Chairman. I unfortunately this evening, I am unable to support this at this time, this letter of intent. Not because I'm not committed in providing senior services to the western side, but first look at the preliminary costs. We're talking about almost $4 million for a 15-year lease on a project that we will not own, a building that we don't own, and upgrades that the county will be responsible, increasing the value of the facility. So at this time, I cannot see how, from a fiscal standpoint, how we can move forward on this. And one of the things I learned from the previous administration, from the Bonney administration, is we got out of the leasing building business. We started purchasing all the facilities. We own everything within the county. And I think that this is setting a terrible precedent because both facilities are owned that we have, the Kohler Center and the Putnam Valley Center. We would be, according to the numbers that we all reviewed, we would be increasing the value of a building that we do not own between $850,000 to $1 million. I don't know anyone that would vote in favor of this deal the way it's structured currently. So in good conscience at this time, I cannot vote in favor of this. We have, I think there's other options. We have to keep our options open. And like I said, I am not, I'm in favor of supporting the senior services there. I just want to point out something. When I first became a member of the legislature, the previous county executive, Bob Bondi, wanted to terminate the lease at the VFW. He felt that we couldn't afford to pay the lease and wanted to shut down the senior services that were provided. And I'm the only one left from the previous administration, and I fought hard to make sure that we maintain that lease. So, with that, I'll be voting no tonight.
Other comments? Mr. Chairman? Yes.
I certainly would like to see our purchase option language and structure improved, but this is only a letter of intent. I'd also like to see the lease options broken up into smaller sections. Some of this has been discussed with the administration, but I'll not withhold support for what is only a letter of intent at this point based on that. I think the project has moved a little bit away from what we were originally led to believe we may be in store for in terms of our ultimate purchase options, but nonetheless, I'll support it as a letter of intent at this time.
Chairman?
Yes, I want to support the letter of intent as well. However, I do have reservations, as Legislator LaBruma and Legislator Wright had mentioned, about the fine print in the lease. I am concerned not about the next 5 years, but the next 20 years, as the lease changes and the 2% times 2% times 2% keeps rolling along each year. Can the county afford it? That's my concern. Is there any other option? I support Butterfield in terms of the facilities. Certainly there should be a senior citizen facility on the western side of the county. I think we're all pretty much in agreement on that. It's just the fine print that the county does not get into financial trouble in 2024 and so forth. That's my concern.
Yeah, I would like to say I support this. Many times people tend to forget that Putnam County goes over to the Hudson River. We really do need a presence there. It's way overdue. Unfortunately, there's nothing else on the table that would be feasible for the next so many years. Owning the building has a lot of expenses to it also. You could own a piece of property and all of a sudden in 30 years you realize you might have to spend millions of dollars on it. This is a realistic option. It's a good option, a new facility, the heart of the community, in the heart of the seniors. And I wholeheartedly support it. Absolutely, we have to look at the details of the lease, but this is just a letter of intent telling us that we're gonna pursue it, we're gonna look at it in more depth and really evaluate it carefully. So I'm very much in favor of the direction we're moving. Legislator Nasarino?
I'm very much in favor of this project. The seniors in Western Suffolk County desperately need and desperately deserve a facility that they can call home. We've done our due diligence. We still have more work to do. I'm not denying that fact. But, we're not taking anything off the tax rolls. It's proving to be more expensive to own and operate some of the other facilities within the county than it will be for this lease. In 15 years, and we could build in some options for lease to buy, but we don't know what the landscape is going to look at. We might not want just per se a senior center, we might want a multi-purpose center. So we have to project our needs and really have some vision when we're looking into the future as well. So I think that's also should be in consideration.
One other thing I'd like to add to that too, there's a tremendous expense just to get a project to this point. That wasn't borne by Putnam County. Just a few years ago, there was a possibility of seeing the center in Kent. And before we blinked our eyes, we went to it for hundreds of thousands, close to $1 million. I wasn't a legislator then. And that's with nothing. So having a realistic option in front of us, I'm strong in favor of, especially in light of the fact of the facilities we have in other areas in the county. We're looking to do more with our Carmel facility. Seniors are a big priority and we're very much in support. So I guess at this time we take a roll call vote.
Should I?
Yes.
Which letter of intent are you addressing here in this resolution? The last one,
The second.
the second one, dated April 21st?
Okay, yeah, just to make that clear, this is the second letter of intent, we just got a couple of minor revisions.
This is additional?
No, it's in the package. Yeah.
By supporting this letter of intent, with understanding that it is still under investigation.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
the fact that Carl, you brought up Kent, that's a very sore spot for the seniors in
Sure.
Kent. So they are waiting for their facility, which they
Right.
never received. Since you brought it up, I had to mention that.
So hopefully with the senior center in Carmel could help accommodate that a little bit. It's hard to spread the services everywhere, but again, one thing is very clear, that side of the county is underserved. And that's very obvious. So at this point, we'll take a roll call vote.
Legislator Adenizio.
Yes.
Legislator Castellano.
Yes.
Legislator Goldman.
Yes.
Legislator Gross.
Yes.
Legislator LeBeau.
No.
Legislator Nasarino.
Yes.
Legislator Scuchamaro.
Yes.
Legislator Wright.
Yes.
Chairman Albano.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next, we